Every year there's a handful of guys who prove the scouts wrong. Guys who are thought to have been just a special teamer at best who carved out huge roles on their team. Today, we're going to talk about the top 10 times NFL scouts got it wrong. But before we hop into the list, make sure you drop a like and a sub if you aren't already. It really helps out the channel a ton, and it gets more people to see this video. So we're going to start off at number 10. At number 10, I have Jason Kelce. Jason Kelce was drafted in the 6th round of the 2011 NFL Draft by the Philadelphia Eagles. In the pre-draft process, scouts said that he didn't have very much movement when run blocking and struggles to sustain blocks. And obviously, another knock on him, if you ever saw him screaming in the Eagles championship parade, was Jason Kelce's too small. Jason Kelce at 6'3" is not what you envision the average center to be, but despite his circumstances, he carved out a great role in Philly. Since he's been with the team, he's been to 2 Pro Bowls and even a Super Bowl since. Number 9, Kam Chancellor. Kam Chancellor was drafted in the 5th round of the 2010 NFL Draft. The Seattle Seahawks took him, and the draft scouts actually said that Chancellor was going to be an inconsistent player, no better than a special teamer / goal line safety. But instead, in his 8 seasons with the Seahawks, half of those seasons, he's been to the Pro Bowl 4 times, and he's been a huge part of the patented Legion of Boom that they had going in there in Seattle, which was obviously some golden years in which they even won a Super Bowl. Number 8, James Harrison. James Harrison actually went undrafted. Teams said Harrison, at only 6 feet tall, was never going to make the NFL as a linebacker. And at 240 pounds, they didn't believe he was strong enough to play the line. That was until the Pittsburgh Steelers gave him an opportunity, in which he spent 2 years bouncing around their practice squad on and off, but ultimately, the kid who no one thought could have made it became a 5-time Pro Bowler and won 2 Super Bowls with the Steelers. Number 7, Richard Sherman. Sherman was drafted in the 5th round of the 2011 NFL Draft by the Seattle Seahawks. Pre-draft scouts actually had some concerns about Sherman in zone coverage, which, as we know, that's what he excels in, saying that his IQ in zone needed improvement. It's insane to think about, but Sherman proved the haters wrong, obviously. He was a 4-time Pro Bowler, and for a couple years there, he was maybe even the most dominant corner in the league. To go along with Kam Chancellor right during those Legion of Boom years, they were unbelievably amazing. Number 6, Russell Wilson. As you can see, there's a trend of good value drafting here by the Seahawks. Wilson wasn't drafted as late as these other guys, but he was drafted in the 3rd round of the 2012 draft. The knocks on Wilson mostly was his size. At only 5'11", people did not see him as what could be a suitable NFL quarterback. And beyond that, they also said that they didn't really see his potential to be able to stay in the pocket and make passes when he needed them. But in Wilson's 6 seasons in the NFL, he made the Pro Bowl 5 times. Certainly paved the way for some of these younger guys who are smaller, such as Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield, to get more opportunities in the league. Now at number 5, I have George Kittel. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why is George Kittel so high on this list? And honestly, for me, it has a lot to do with his potential. Kittel was drafted in the 5th round by the 49ers. Scouts were knocking him on his route running ability, predictability, lack of quickness, and lack of blocking. The route running one is actually insane. For a tight end, he has some of the best route running skills I've seen in the league. He has to be at least a top 5 route running tight end already. And he's only in his 2nd season. At only 25 years old, he just broke the record for tight end receiving yards at almost 1,400. So it's safe to say Kittel is absolutely silencing the haters. Number 4, Antonio Gates. Antonio Gates went undrafted in 2003. Gates originally wanted to be an NBA player, but was told he wasn't big enough. In all 4 years at Kent State, that's pretty much what he focused on was his basketball career. And it wasn't until they said that he wasn't going to be able to make it as an NBA player that he decided to try out for an NFL team. The fact that he didn't play football at all. Obviously, didn't give him the opportunity to the combine, so he just did workouts with teams, and the Chargers actually gave him an opportunity. And since that, he went to the Pro Bowl 8 times throughout his career and was one of the best tight ends I've ever seen play. Number 3, Adam Thielen. In 2013, Adam Thielen did not receive an invite to the NFL Combine after playing 4 years at Minnesota State. A lot of the knocks on him came from playing at that program. He was only a D2 player. But in 2013, he went undrafted and signed with the Vikings. 5 years later now, he's became one of the most elite wide receivers in the NFL. He almost just had a 1,400-yard receiving season, and he now already has 2 Pro Bowls under his belt. Number 2, Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown was drafted in the 6th round of the 2010 NFL Draft by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Brown has many knocks on him, but surprisingly, it was his size, strength, ability to beat press coverage, contested catches, and for some reason, route running. Antonio Brown is one of the best route runners I've ever seen play the game. So it's insane to think that there was knocks on him from those scouts saying that his route running needed improvement. But since then, he has had 7 Pro Bowl appearances, and he's just about consistently been a top, if not the best wide receiver in the NFL. Number 1. If you made it this far, I appreciate the support. If you like these videos, let me know down in the comments, and your support is really helping out a lot. But anyways, let's get into it. Number 1 is pretty obvious, Tom Brady. Tom Brady was drafted in the 6th round of the 2000 NFL Draft. There was criticisms about pretty much everything regarding his athleticism. Although he has truly proven to be one of the best quarterbacks of all time. He's been to 14 Pro Bowls, 3 MVPs, and won 6 Super Bowls, which is absolutely crazy that Belichick got such a steal in Brady. Brady absolutely spit in the face of all the scouts and doubters in all of his career. So yeah, that was my list, but if you enjoyed, like, comment, and sub, and I'll see you next video.